Yes, people. Okay, so in this video, we're on City and we're going to take a look at the UK inflation rates right now. What's going on with the United Kingdom? So the UK food and drink inflation has basically hit 5.1% as global cocoa prices soar. So let's take a look at what's going on around the world that's affecting the UK. UK food and drink inflation rose to 5.1% in August, in a fifth consecutive annual increase and at the highest since January 2024, amid fears that the figure could reach 5.7% by the end of 2025. So, as someone who lives in the UK, I can definitely vouch for that. Food prices have definitely gone up. Things like milk and bread and those type of things have gone up. Part of this inflation can be attributed to a rise in cocoa prices to record highs and adverse weather conditions and pest outbreaks in West Africa. So recently, for example, in Pakistan and India in the Punjab region, there were major floods. So the Punjab region is actually the breadbasket of India and Pakistan. So a lot of agriculture land has been lost to the actual floods. A lot of the harvests have been lost. So things like wheat, which affects obviously flour, rice, that type of stuff, for and bread and so on, has been affected, particularly in the subcontinent, but also around the world. So cocoa prices remain elevated by historical standards, even after easing back from last year's stratospheric high into early 2025, said Neil Wilson, investor strategist at Saxo UK. The early surge was driven by a sharp supply squeeze, with El Nino, the warm phase of a Pacific climate cycle that causes ocean temperature to rise above average and winds to be weaker, and other weather shocks hitting harvests compounded by the spread of swollen shoot virus. EU sourcing regulations also weighed in on planting, while many farmers have been slow to replace aging trees. So cocoa now trades around 5,000 per ton, up from roughly £3,300 a year ago, after spiking to about £9,000 at the end of 2024. With production failing for the second year in a row, the supply shortfall is forcing manufacturers to pass higher cocoa costs to consumers, and demand is plummeting. Higher prices have since helped cool the market, with demand destruction showing up in European and North American grindings data, Wilson added. So let's take a look here. Okay, so Christmas chocolate crunch looms. So obviously we're coming into the Christmas period. So obviously a lot of people like their chocolate gifts and so on. So will that be affected? So consumers will feel the effects most acutely over the festive season, which is only a couple of months away right now. So expect household favorite chocolates to get smaller but pricier, known as shrinkflation, where pack sizes reduce while retail prices remain the same. I mean, that is true because I've been recently to the supermarket looking at chocolate boxes. So you have treat boxes. The price has gone up and the size of the boxes has actually shrunk. So there you go. A spokesperson at Lint and Sprungly told City AM the company has been navigating a highly dynamic market environment shaped by inflationary pressures and extreme weather events. The Swiss chocolatier raised prices by 15.8% in the first half of 2025 to offset raw material costs after cocoa hit record highs. Severe dryness and pest outbreaks affect crops in Ghana and the Ivory Coast, the latter accounting for 84% of UK cocoa bean imports last year. Most global cocoa suppliers are low climate readiness countries, which means they are highly exposed to climate impacts but lack a lot of resources to adapt. West Africa weather conditions over the past couple of years have been detrimental to cocoa harvests. Unusually heavy rains in 2023 caused pest outbreaks with cocoa plants rotting in wet conditions. So last year in March 24, the region was hit by an extreme humid heat wave that scientists said was about 4 degrees Celsius hotter due to climate change. London's cocoa commodity market tied closely to West Africa. Supply is trading in backwardation with near-term spot contracts priced above futures. Because of unstable weather conditions and a shortage of cocoa, prices in London's cocoa market closely tied to West African supply, are higher than the price set for future derivatives there. Okay, sorry. Yeah, deliveries. So by contracts, the New York cocoa market, which is more dependent on South American supply, is behaving more typically with future contracts priced above today's market levels. Wilson predicts the upcoming harvest from October to be mixed. Reports point to better crops in Cote d'Ivoire, that's the Ivory Coast, though Ghana appears less encouraging. Structural issues remain unresolved, however, with little progress on replanting. Prices have adjusted to improve supply. Some speculative froth has dissipated, but the market stays tight. Weather risk could keep cocoa trading at historically elevated levels. There you have it, folks. So we have had an increase in UK food and drink inflation, primarily delivered by things like cocoa prices, other elements, harvests, pests, crop failures, global warming, floods, increasing temperatures all around the world, which is affecting food and supply and the cost of it, as well as inflation rates. Do drop us a comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Catch you in the next one.